Hello y'all, this is the Hearts of Iron 4 mod. Prometheus has fallen. In this alternate history world, World War I ended in a Pyrrhic victory for the Central Powers. At the same time, the UK and France lost most of their colonial possessions in the wake of wars for independence. If you are unaware what the name Prometheus in the mod title means, it is a reference to the mythical Greek Titan god of fire, who is best known for defying the other gods by stealing fire and giving it to man. We are on the country select screen now, and I think this mod starts in the year 1930, but let's look at each of the major powers here, then go down to the countries below them. So we have France, the United States led by Herbert Hoover, the United Kingdom, the German Empire, the Royal Austro-Hungarian Federation, so the Austro-Hungarian Empire has reformed by 1930, and Prometheus has fallen. There's Russia, led by Peter Engel, Japan, Italy, led by Benito Mussolini, Qing China, the Russian Democratic Republic, which is led by Lenin. So there's two Russias, at least at the start date of this mod, effectively. Mali, the South African Reich, Brazil, and finally, the Ottoman Sultanate. So it's no longer the Ottoman Empire, it's just the Ottoman Sultanate. We're playing as the German Empire, and let's see what features Prometheus has fallen has to offer. And, well, just a few of them anyway. So, first off, looking at the ideologies, this mod has 7 compared to Hearts of Iron 4's 4, well, vanilla Hearts of Iron 4. But these ideologies are theocracy, monarchism, constitutional monarchism, so I guess the first monarchism is just absolute monarchy, but continuing, we have democracy, communism, fascism, and authoritarianism. Now for the map, apparently this mod has like 8,700 new provinces, 800 new states, so that's a lot of states, and 200 new strategic regions. It also adds in a whole bunch of new decisions, which are all focusing around prospecting for resources. So you can prospect for oil more, aluminum, rubber, tungsten, steel, and chromium, just in case you want more resources in a certain state. And now let's go to the research tree. So moving on here, let's start with the infantry. And we have more, it's a more extensive research tree, I would say, tech tree. So there is motorized scouting vehicles, special forces, nation-specific technologies. What is this? That is interesting. And now moving on, support companies, that seems very much the same to vanilla. Armor seems about the same. Artillery, even though it's kind of, the layout's kind of different, it seems similar or the same. Theoretical land doctrine is here, and here is mobile warfare doctrine, superior firepower doctrine, grand battle plan doctrine, mass assault doctrine, armored warfare, and protracted warfare. So mobile warfare and armored warfare doctrines are both their own thing within this mod. Also, since these are in the focus tree, let me check out the officer corps. We just have practical lessons of all the doctrines. So there's basically 2 military doctrine research tabs in this mod, essentially. Well, 2 places you get different military research buffs, I guess. There's special training deployment, which is just, it gives a bunch of buffs and helps with different types of terrain, I think. So hills training, urban training, all that stuff. Naval is a thing. You can make torpedo boats within this mod. That's something new. Theoretical naval doctrine. That seems the same as vanilla Hearts of Iron 4 naval support. That's also same as vanilla, I believe. Air, what's here? Engines, all that stuff. Yes, okay, moving on. Theoretical air doctrine seems about the same. And now engineering, that also seems somewhat the same, but there is a few differences like these, I don't know, I want to say these different jet engines, and industry is the same, I think. So what I'm going to do now at this point is we're going to go on a little world tour of the world, starting with South America. We're going to take a brief look at every country in the world, so let's start with the leftist International Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil. What else is here? Peruvian independent state. There is Phalangist Bolivia, so fascist Bolivia in 1930, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, and the Atacama Patagonian Free State, which is basically this world's equivalent of Chile. Going to Africa now, let's look at the nations from south to north. So we have the South African Reich, there is Madagascar, well, French Madagascar, the state of Zambia, who is fascist, the Angolan Empire is also fascist, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, who is part of a faction called the Central African Pact, which consists of them, the Democratic People's Republic of Chad, and the Socialist Nigerian Federation. But going over to the Horn of Africa, just heading there, after we've seen this whole faction here, there is the Republic of Kenya, the Somali Sultanate, Ethiopia, the Republic of the Sudan, Egypt, and who else? There is, well, we're heading into North Africa now. There is the Kingdom of Libya, and Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Spain, who has held onto their portion of Morocco by 1930 in this timeline, Mali, there is Senegal, Guinea, Liberia, no, they're down here, Sierra Leone, then Liberia, Ivory Coast, Upper Volta, Ghana, Togo, and I believe that is it for this continent. Going across the Indian Ocean, we find fascist centralist Australia, the fascist Polynesian Empire, who is centered out of New Zealand, the Socialist Workers' State of Indonesia, the Malay People's Republic, the independent Philippines, as well as, well, up north of them is the Chinese Administration Authority. It's the Chinese Administrative Authority, not administration. And the Chinese Administrative Authority is a puppet of Japan, who controls a little bit of southern China and Taiwan. And of course, there is their overlord, Japan, who is controlling Korea and parts of what could be seen as Russia. They have Vladivostok under their control at the start date. There is also the elephant in the room here, just a divided China. There's no warlords, it's just two flavors of monarchy split between Qing China and the United Kingdoms of China. And south of them is the Republic of Vietnam, Siam, the Kingdom of Laos, the Republic of Cambodia, Burma, the United Kingdoms of India. So there's no Raj, but there is Bangladesh, the United Kingdoms of India, and Pakistan. And the British retain a small foothold on the subcontinent, and they control Ceylon or Sri Lanka, however you want to say it, and Bhutan, and Nepal, their own thing. And going more into Central Asia, there is the East Caspian Sultanate, Kazakhstan. It's split between those two entities. Central Asia is, Pakistan's here, I believe I mentioned them already, possibly. Afghanistan exists, Persia is here. Then in the Caucasus region is Azerbaijan, who is a puppet of the Ottoman Sultanate, as well as, well, the Armenian independent territories are also present in this region. They are a subject of Russia, and there are basically puppets of Russia and the Ottomans here in the Caucasus. And the Free State of St. George is also a puppet of Russia, who I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but Russia is split between Russia, led by Wrangel here, which is authoritarian in terms of ruling ideology, and the communist Russian Democratic Republic in the east, who controls a large portion of Siberia, or nearly all of it, basically. And we're getting more into the Middle East now. There is the Ottoman Sultanate, Iraq, and the Arabian Caliphate, and that is the Middle East. And it should be mentioned, Egypt controls a good portion. They control Palestine, and the United Kingdom controls Cyprus. And let's head into Europe now. Here we have Bulgaria, whose flag may or may not be upside down in some way. I believe Ethiopia also had their flag upside down for whatever reason. But continuing on from that, there is Greece, Romania. There is also Albania and Serbia and Montenegro, the Republic of Ukraine. They're split off from Russia, and Prometheus has fallen. Poland, Lithuania exists. Latvia is here, the Republic of Estonia, Finland, Sweden, Norway, And going now into Central Europe more, there is the Royal Austro-Hungarian Federation, who controls Austria, Hungary, and what could be seen as part, well, the majority of the territory of, or nearly all of the territory of, the Czechoslovak Republic or Czechoslovakia. In our own timelines, 1930s, there is the German Empire, and they are in a faction called the Central Powers with the Austro-Hungarians and Denmark, who goes by the Royal Republic of Denmark or something like that. And heading now into the Low Countries, there is the United Kingdom of Benelux, consisting of Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Belgium. There is France, Switzerland, Italy, led by Mussolini, Spain, Portugal, and that's a very interesting Portuguese flag. And going across from mainland Europe, there is the United Kingdom, Ireland, Iceland, who controls both Iceland and Greenland. And going over from that across the Atlantic into North America, there is Canada, Mexico, and a bunch of countries in Central America, Panama, Costa Rica, the Republic of Nicaragua, Atlas, Honduras, as well as El Salvador, who is fascist, Guatemala. There is the United Kingdom of the Caribbean, very interesting, and they control Hispaniola, as well as Cuba, Jamaica, and Puerto Rico, it looks like. That's very fascinating. And let's end our trip with the final country we're going to see in this mod, the United States, who apparently, I think, maintain their long-standing position of neutrality when it came to European affairs in this mod's timeline. So I'm not sure if they intervened in World War I at any way at all, and Prometheus Has Fallen. But with that said, this has been Prometheus Has Fallen. If you enjoyed this mod, you can check it out in the video description. A link to it is there. If you enjoyed this video itself, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.